So I talked in one of my previous videos about, in a couple of my previous videos about cognitive metaphor, and Lakoff and Johnson mentioned one cognitive metaphor which is not universal. It's found rather uniquely in our culture, not in other cultures, and it is life as a journey. The idea is that your life has a trajectory, and the point is you start at one place and you're supposed to work your way up to another place. Um, and there are other cultures where that metaphor doesn't exist, where you just live your life and that's it. There's nowhere to go in life. The whole concept doesn't make sense to them. And so I feel like in one sense that without the cognitive metaphor, um, maybe life would be less stressful. If you thought that your life, that uh, there was no sense in making something of yourself, or trying to be something more than what you are. Um, and you can live your humble, accept your humble lot in life, and live life, yeah, uh, just day to day. Um, and certainly a lot of spiritual teachers, including in our culture, have criticized this life as a journey thing. Alan Watts, one of my favorite thinkers, talked about how yeah, at every point in your life, you're taught, okay, wait, this is okay. You're in college now, and now you got to get your degree. Okay, now you got to get a job, and now you got to work your way up and work your way up, and then around the age 50, by golly, you've made it. You're at the top of the game, and you don't feel any different than you were before. Um, I can understand and respect this perspective, and certainly, I think if you look at one thing that always struck me in Buddhism, is the whole goal of eliminating desire. I figured, you'd be that if you eliminated all desire, you'd be in the moment and ever present. And yet, there's something in this cultural metaphor of ours that I do find appealing. Um, in a sense, if you didn't if you didn't think life was to go somewhere, then it means that whatever your life's like now, it's just gonna continue being like that. And I'm not particularly fond of that idea. I'm not necessarily sad with my life right now, but it's definitely not how I want to live for the rest of my life. I mean, I got a decent paying job right now, and I got my own place, so I'm not complaining. But I mean, I'd like to eventually write that book I always wanted to write, and I'd like to meet my soulmate and get married and have kids and grandkids, and I, meet lots of people, travel new places. I rather like the idea of going places in life, and I kind of wonder if that's kind of contradictory to my spiritual development or essential to it. And I guess I've always had that kind of that's always been kind of an aspect of Buddhism, and in fact, in a lot of spiritual teaching, that's kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I feel like, you know, I mean, on the one hand, it is true that ultimately you should, realize that on some level there is only this moment, and that all this moment contains all moments, and and everything is truly already all right. But on the other hand, you have to all I think you have to hold that simultaneously with the fact that you live in this relative world where things are always changing, and I think there should be things to aspire towards. Um, I think I think the thing that you need to watch out for is the notion that any one of those goals is ever going to make you happy. you know, that you have to seek happiness within, while also aspiring to change your life without. And and it goes beyond just your own life. You know, if you want to, I think, uh, on sort of the activist side of wanting to change the world. I mean, and that's certainly one thing I also aspire towards. You know, I want to. You know, I mentioned my desire to write a book and write several books actually, and the goal of those books would be to help change people's minds, to help change the world. And you know that also is something where you have to simultaneously hold both that at a fundamental level, not, everything is already perfect, and yet at the same time, we're in dire straits and needs to change things. I mean, it's I think one thing about spirituality, about like spirituality and particularly mysticism, that turns off a lot of quote unquote rationalists is having to put up with paradox and contradiction like that. But I guess paradoxes have never really been that big a problem for me. And so I guess I'll leave it at that. Happy trails, everyone, and peace.